For me, I know from our family history. Two things. Many of you may not be aware of the downside for private industry. The airline, I'm an airline captain at American Airlines in Miami, and we've seen the airline industry cut back all the way along. And this is a high-paying job, if you will. Doctors that do heart surgery, I would not look for them at the swap shop. I look for them to be the highly trained individuals that they are. And they have seen pay cuts under Medicare. That process has to be restored, not cutting their pay, but getting people back into the Medicare tax system. My 10% flat tax option, I'd like you to look at, read the whole thing. You're going to see that 50% of taxpayers that are no longer participating in the system, they're on 1099s and cash basis, have the option to get back into Social Security, Medicare, via the 10% flat tax option. They then contribute to the Medicare part, and they contribute to the Social Security part. Thank you.
And Mr. Brady.
Well, I'm the youngest candidate on the panel, and I hope Medicare is there for me when I'm 65 or even older. I understand that life expectancy continues to increase. It's irrational for today's younger generation to expect that we should be able to receive Social Security or Medicare at 65. It's slowly ratcheting up to 67, but we've got to make the responsible decisions to continue to move that up on par with life expectancy and people's capabilities. Of course, I support Medicare, but there's the major underlying issue that no one is addressing, and that is the healthcare system. We have got to continue to improve our healthcare system. We provide the best acute care, but we're horrible at preventative care. If we were to do a much better job of providing preventable care, we could save 75% of what we spend on healthcare in this country. So we're skirting a major issue. We've got to do a better job of long-term living healthier lives.
Thank you. Do we have another question from the audience?
Hi, this is Art Pollack, and I wanted to thank all you gentlemen for being here today. You have a lot of responsibility, and we're really putting a lot of trust in you. The question I have, and first of all, I'd like to say thank you for Social Security, because I'm the recipient of my mouth-based. Immigration is a very serious issue. I'm curious as to how you feel about the Arizona law, and whether or not we should adopt that kind of situation here. It seems to be spreading around the country that many other states are adopting the same type of situation.
Congressman Klein, we'll begin with you.
Thank you. We are a nation of immigrants. That's a strength, that's not a weakness, and don't let anybody tell you otherwise. But immigrants that come here lawfully. My grandparents, I've gone around the room here, everyone will have a story about how their family came to this country. My grandparents were the ones who came. They left Europe. They were survivors from large families, and they came here for a better life, just like all people do, for jobs and things like that. But they came here and they were sponsored by family members. They were not a burden to this country. They learned English, and they knew that in order to get ahead for themselves and their kids, they would have to work in this community, and they did. And today, I'm serving in Congress as a result of their great work. But bottom line, you have to have secure borders. Let's start with that. That's the easy one, but it's not so easy. We just passed last week hundreds of millions of dollars for more border patrols, more walls. We have to have secure borders. No country can be safe without having secure borders. Number two, we have to make sure we enforce the laws that we have. Employers should not be hiring people that are illegal, because that's only creating the attraction for them to come here. These are the things that are the basic things. The issue with the Arizona law, very simply, is we should not have 50 different states that do this. It's up to having one federal system, and I believe in a strong immigration system. Thank you.
Mr. Reinison.
Thank you. The immigration debate in Arizona has created great division in our country. That's because I'm an airline captain. I get to see the deportation of many individuals. I also get to see the strain on some of the folks that are more recently immigrated of Hispanic descent, and it's not fair to them. I agree with the Congressman, it should be a federal issue. I believe the laws that are in place, as if you have watched the debate in detail, are enforceable in the present mode. And as a veteran for peace, to bring our war to an end immediately, I do believe we need to secure the border, especially in the south side of the United States. You might remember in history there was Pancho Villa that went into Mexico. If he was around today, we'd see a lot of the troubles we're having. My mother lives down on Padre Island, as I indicated to you earlier. She said they had to stop the local college baseball game because bullets were dropping in the outfield. It's right there in Brownsville, close to the border. Folks, you don't know the half of it. The border is a problem and it needs to be secured. However, I want to be on the record for families out united and families in united. No dividing immigration families based on that Amendment 14 issue. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Brady?
The border security issue that we have, to me, is separate from the immigration issue. We do have a porous border, and we absolutely need to secure the border. And I do believe that what the federal government did last week as far as providing more troops, more money to seal the border is a step in the right direction. But we have 12 million people here illegally that are amongst us that fulfill needs in this country. There's certain aspects of the Arizona law that I like, there's certain aspects that I don't like. A police officer should be able to ask someone to see if they are documented. However, people should not be allowed to sue the police department because they don't think they're doing their job regarding immigration. What we need is the ability to have work permits for people that are here illegally. I'm not saying that they should be able to ever become enfranchised as citizens or be given the right to vote. They have come here illegally. They do not deserve to become citizens. But they should be allowed to have a work permit, pay taxes, pay into the system, pay their fair.
Thank you. The operative word is illegal, and that's the thing that we must be focused on first and foremost. This is not an issue about immigration. And we also must understand that America is a constitutional republic, and in being a constitutional republic, that means we stand for the rule of law. And if you go to our Constitution, you will see in Article 1, Section 8, in Article 1, Section 10, in Article 4, Section 4, it talks about the responsibilities of the federal government, and it also talks about the responsibilities of states if they see themselves in immediate danger, that they can act without delay. And of course, if you go to the 10th Amendment, it says that all the enumerated powers that does not go to the central federal government goes to the states. Arizona had every right to protect its citizens against something which is an incredible issue for them. Illegal immigration is a national security issue, it's an economic issue, it's an education issue, it's a healthcare issue, and it's a local criminality issue. And let us not be like Rome, who decided not to protect their northern borders, and we know what happened to them.
Thank you. We have another question, I believe. Yep. We'll be starting with Mr. Brady responding first.
Thank you. Thanks for coming. I manufacture hundreds of different cosmetics, janitorial products, shampoos, disinfectants, hundreds of veterinary products, and everything that I manufacture goes in a bottle. And I spent over $1 million on machinery to make bottles. And for me to make a bottle costs me 15 cents to 40 cents. I'm now buying them from China for 10 cents delivered. Delivered, duty paid, freight around the world, 10.3 cents. How do I continue to grow my business, make more jobs, and stay competitive when I am buying things from China for half of what it costs me to make it myself? Thank you.
One of the greatest things that's occurring today is globalization. It's okay for things to get manufactured overseas. We want to be the ones manufacturing the high-tech products. You want the scientists here developing your products, besting your disinfectants, your cosmetics, your veterinaries, whatever. You want the smart people here doing the research to produce that. We want bottle production, which I don't know that much about it, but I'm guessing is low skill. You want that bottle production overseas, where it's cheaper labor, it's more effective to have that. It's okay to have international trade. We want to have an education system here that allows for us to be the innovators and entrepreneurial leaders in the world. So it's okay to import technologies that are less, or products that are easier to manufacture overseas. That's a huge cost savings to you. You're saving 30 cents a bottle. And you know that's a benefit to you. So global trade is a good thing if done responsibly.